You ever meet a woman who's just unbothered? She's not arrogant, she's not loud, she's not defensive. She's just clear. Clear about who she is, clear about what she deserves, clear about what she will and will not engage with. And that clarity, it radiates. You feel it before she opens her mouth. You sense it in the way she walks into a room like she belongs there without needing to prove it. That's the power of a woman who knows herself. And Queen, that's where power belongs in you. We're walking in it today, and thank you so much for being here with me. Hi love, I'm Kay Ali Cole, and this is where women learn to lead and love from power, not panic. This is where we return to our truth and reclaim our strategy of peace, power, and purpose. This is your invitation to come home to your center. And Queen, stay with me until the very end. Your Queen's exclusive closing gift is waiting there for you. And I see a lot of you beautiful queens watching but not subscribing yet. Go ahead and subscribe, right? You give me your time, I give you my best. That's our promise to each other. All right, so let's get into it. Let me see if you subscribed yet. Did you? All right, thank you, Queen. A woman who knows herself is not built in a weekend. She's not. She's not built through survival alone. She's built in the sacred space where reflection meets revelation, where you look at yourself, where you sit with your patterns, where you ask God, who am I really? When I'm not reacting or performing or chasing or proving, who am I? And it's in that stillness where He shows you the strength He put in you, the softness, the wisdom, the boundaries, the joy. Because when you start to truly know yourself, you start to walk like a woman who's been in the presence of God. Not just a woman who prays, a woman who listens, a woman who obeys, a woman who's centered, right? Who's centered. Queen, it's in the smallest shifts. The text you don't send, the sure I'll come you don't say when you really don't feel like it, the extra mile you don't walk for someone who wouldn't even pick up the phone for you. No. It's those moments when you catch yourself. Those moments when you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is this aligned with who I'm becoming? Would the woman I'm growing into choose this? That's when you know something's changed. You stop living from the outside in. You start living to your own inner truth. And you start listening to your own inner truth. But here's what it gets tricky all the time. Queen, when you start moving differently, people start reacting. It is what it is. Suddenly you are distant. You think you're better. You're not acting like how you used to. Those are the comments that you'll get. And if you're not careful, guilt creeps in. Guilt for choosing yourself, guilt for setting boundaries, guilt for making yourself small to make others comfortable. Let's be clear, guilt is not your guide. That's your old nervous system talking. That's a part of you that was trained to people please, to overfunction, to earn love through overgiving. But you're not that woman anymore. You're not here to rescue people from their discomfort. You're not. You're here to protect your peace and walk in your purpose. You can love people and still choose yourself. You can be kind without being available to chaos and drama. You can be soft and still walk away when something dishonors you. You're worthy. You deserve better. And we're fighting for that each and every day. Let's make it plain. Knowing yourself doesn't mean you're done growing. It means you stop abandoning yourself in the name of loyalty, fantasy, or fear. It means you stop negotiating with confusion. You stop being impressed by potential. You stop over-explaining your worth. Once is enough. A woman who knows herself doesn't need to announce it. She just moves different. And the room adjusts. And it will. Let me say this slowly. There is nothing more powerful than a woman at peace with herself. Not at war, not trying to convince anyone, not chasing approval, just at peace. And the minute you find that kind of peace, your energy starts to set a whole new standard for the rooms that you walk in. You stop asking, am I enough? And start asking, does this honor who I'm becoming? That's the shift. That's it right there. Does this honor who I'm becoming? Does this honor me? And it's soft. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's quiet. Like sunlight through a window. Like water carving through a rock. Quiet dignity. The sovereignty of a woman who knows herself is unmistakable. She doesn't need to announce her power. She embodies it. She doesn't need to threaten her boundaries. She simply lives by them. She doesn't seek attention. She commands respect by existing in truth, in her truth. Queen, this is what we call elegant alignment, where your softness is your shield, where your clarity is your compass, where your peace is your proof. Your peace is your proof, love. And let me call this out real quick. Why is it that the minute we get clarity, we suddenly want to text everybody to explain it? Why? Like, hey, just to let you know, I'm healing now, so I might not be as available, or, no, we don't need to do that. We don't owe anyone an announcement. We don't. The growth will speak for itself. It will be self-explanatory when they see you move different, right? You don't have to announce it. There's a quiet kind of power that comes with knowing yourself. Not in theory, not in Instagram captions, but in the intimate, lived-in truth of your own skin. It's when you no longer ask for permission to exist as you are. When your boundaries stop sounding like explanations and start feeling like an atmosphere that you create. That's when something shifts. That's when the room changes. Not because the world suddenly becomes more gentle, but because you're no longer negotiating your worth in rooms not built for you. You're done with that. You're done. So let's get real. You ever sit in the group chat, typing and deleting a message 6 times, wondering how to say something without sounding too much, too serious, or too sensitive, or too deep? But the moment you know who you are, you type once, send it, and then close the app. Because women who know themselves don't fear perception. They trust presence. We're learning to trust our presence and not fear perception, right? This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about shedding what was never yours to begin with. Having sacred clarity doesn't float down from heaven in a moment of perfection. It happens in the most ordinary places. In the moment you no longer feel obligated to respond immediately. In the moment you catch your own anxiety trying to over-explain. In the moment you say, actually, I need to rest, and mean it and stick to it. That's what it means to move with clarity. Not dramatic, not loud, just sure. Just sure of yourself. Let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. And here's what's fascinating. The moment you move like you know who you are, The masculine sees it. Men who are rooted in purpose don't need to be impressed. They recognize alignment. They feel the difference between a woman who demands attention and a woman who quietly commands it. One activates his ego, the other awakens his spirit. You're not just affecting how men see you, you're revealing what level they're even capable of operating on. And that's not manipulation. That's reflection, love. That's reflection. Right? And Queen, if you feel guilty of choosing yourself, if there's a whisper that says, you're selfish now, or you've changed, let me gently remind you, yes, you have. You've changed. You've softened your nervous system. You've returned to your center. You've stopped auditioning for acceptance. That's not selfish. That's spiritual hygiene, love. Let them adjust. Let them misunderstand. Let them think you're being distant. Because here's the truth. They were closer to your trauma than they were to your truth. And now that you've recentered, not everyone can orbit you. That's not arrogance. That's sacred maintenance. Maintenance of thyself. Okay? Let me whisper this in your spirit. You don't have to sacrifice your peace just to be seen. You don't. That sentence right there, that's your freedom call. You don't have to sacrifice your presence to be seen. You don't. Picture this. You're on the phone calmly saying, I just need space to think about that right now. Meanwhile, your inner child is in the background like, we are finally doing it. She said no. She said no. It's the most peaceful rebellion of your life. You were able to stick up for yourself, right? Isn't that amazing? This is what God meant by restoration. Not just repairing what's broken, but returning you to what's original, to what's always been true about you. You are not here to prove, perform, or persuade. You are here to carry peace like a garment, to move with presence, to speak with discernment, to lead with spirit. And when you know who you are, you no longer tolerate spaces that pretend not to see you. Right? We no longer do that. You ever notice how the moment you stop waiting for someone to text you back is the same moment they finally do? Why is that? Why? It's not because they magically felt your energy shift, love, but because you shifted. When a woman crosses that invisible threshold from waiting to knowing, everything about her energy realigns. Her silence stops being a reaction and starts becoming strategy. Her absence begins to teach the very lesson her words could never have done. That's the power of clarity. That's what it means to know yourself. That's what it means. Let me take you back. You were sitting on the edge of your bed, looking at your phone, thumb hovering over the keyboard, rehearsing what to say, not to speak your truth, but to say it soft enough not to push him away, right? You rewrote the message 5 times. You deleted the paragraph. You added a period, then you took it away. You read the last messages again and again, searching for the moment where things shifted. Reading it and reading it and reading it. And then something in you whispered, you don't need to say anything. That moment right there, that is a turning point. It wasn't the silence. It was the self-trust behind the silence. It was trusting yourself not to even say a word. Now let's talk about what happens on the other side of the shift. Often when you finally let go, they show up. He sends a check-in text. He reacts to an old story. He drops a casual, hey, like the energy hasn't shifted. And for a moment, it makes you second guess yourself. Wow, he's finally checking in. But here's what you need to know. Emotionally mature men do not need your detachment to recognize your value. They don't wait until they feel your absence to decide that you matter. That's not pursuit. That's possession. That's not clarity. That's control. And deep down, you know the difference. You do. We all do. Listen, every time you say and you stay silent from a grounded place, your nervous system rewrites a story. Because you used to go back, you used to chase, used to explain and perform, and used to shrink. No. Now you sit, you breathe, you choose peace. That's your shift that can't be faked and doesn't need to be explained. Centering yourself, guarding your heart and your spirit doesn't need to be explained. But again, guilt creeps in. But maybe I should have said something. What if he's going through something? I don't want to seem unkind. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you what's not unkind. Choosing yourself when your energy is being mishandled. Saying less when you've already said enough. Protecting your softness instead of over-explaining your heart, my love. We've been conditioned to associate stillness with coldness, to confuse detachment with bitterness, to think we owe people a front row seat to our healing just because they knew us before it started. Now listen closely. You're allowed to become unavailable to confusion. You're allowed to grow without performance clause. You are allowed to set boundaries without a backstory. The people who deserve you and deserve your softness won't require your suffering to see it. They won't require that, darling, at all. A woman who knows herself moves from presence and not pressure, love. She doesn't seek applause. She seeks alignment. She walks into the room with her shoulders down, her jaw unclenched, her spirit steady, not because life is perfect, but because she no longer bargains her peace for validation. There's a sacred kind of grace in becoming unbothered, not out of apathy, but out of authority, not from arrogance, but from anchoring love. You know what always cracks me up, right? When you finally decide to stop overthinking and just mind your business, that's when everyone suddenly wants to check in. You'll be out here drinking water, journaling, being holy, and boom, a random text. And for a split second, your fingers itch. You want to type back. You almost go back. Almost. But this time you don't. You just smile, sip your tea, drink your water, because peace feels better than potential. It does. It really does. Queen, if this message is pulling something out of you, hit the subscribe button. This is where we remember who we are. This is where we reclaim the version of us that doesn't flinch when our energy is misunderstood. You give your time, I give my best. That's our promise to each other. Thank you again for staying with me. It does come a time when you definitely realize who you are, right? There comes a moment, and maybe this is yours, when you stop chasing understanding from people who were never willing to see you clearly. You stop trying to explain your softness to someone who only responds to sharp edges. You stop shrinking to suit someone else's ego, and suddenly You're not seeking peace. You're protecting it. You're protecting it. A woman who knows herself is no longer available for confusion, disguised as connection. She's no longer performing for belonging. She understands what God deposited in her, and she walks like it. That's not arrogance. That's reverence. It's a quiet agreement with heaven that I will not abandon myself again to be chosen by someone who doesn't know how to carry what they prayed for. And when you move like that, the room changes. Not because you're loud, but because your alignment is unmistakable. It's unshakable, right? And here's the part that always makes me laugh, right? As soon as you finally stop responding to nonsense, to the crazy. And suddenly folks want to know if you're okay. Oh, so now I'm concerning because I didn't explain why I ignored the 17th red flag. The moment you prioritize your own energy, it's like everybody gets amnesia about why you had to. And isn't it funny how they only start missing you when you become unavailable to their patterns? Not you, Queen. Not anymore. It's okay. It's okay to let go after the 17th red flag. Let's make something clear. A man doesn't stop calling because he's confused. He stops calling because he's comfortable with your absence. A man who's in alignment doesn't ghost you. He doesn't breadcrumb you. He doesn't circle back when he's bored. He shows up repeatedly, honorably, with devotion. And the real win isn't when he returns. It's when you no longer care if he does. Right? That's you putting yourself first. That's you. Those "Hey stranger" text messages, they don't register the same. Instead of smiling or spiraling, you glance at your phone, sip your tea, and like, oh, isn't that cute? And keep scrolling. That's not cold. That's called growth. Because your worth is no longer up for debate. It's not. All right? Let's pause right here and take a breath. Close your eyes for a second. Now ask yourself gently, is this version of me trying to be loved, or is she already loved and finally acting like it? That's the shift. That's the holy interruption. The moment you stop begging for peace from people who profit from your panic. That's the moment. You don't owe your past self an explanation. You owe her completion. You are not too much for being clear. You are not hard to love for having boundaries. What you're doing now is honoring the parts of you that prayed for this season of clarity. And she deserves your loyalty more than your fear does. She does. She deserves it. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that loving others meant abandoning yourself. That if you weren't always available, you were selfish. That if you didn't explain your piece, you were rude. Let's release that. Choosing stillness is not neglect. Not overextending is not cruelty. And putting yourself first isn't betrayal. It's biblical. Even Jesus withdrew. Even Christ rested. What makes you think your healing has to come with exhaustion? What makes you think that? You may notice it in your body. Your jaw unclenches, your chest stops tightening, your stomach relaxes. This isn't just calm. This is your nervous system finally believing it's safe to stop performing. That it's safe to let go. That it's safe to receive, not just give. Your body knows before your mind catches up. Trust your body. Trust it. Your clarity is not up for negotiation. It isn't. That means you don't argue with confusion anymore. You don't convince someone of your worth anymore. You don't chase energy that drains you anymore. Boundaries are not barriers. They're sacred doors, and not everyone gets the key. This isn't performance. This is presence. This isn't you trying harder. This is you receiving ease. That quiet faith you've been building is starting to bloom. That peace that feels unfamiliar is what you always deserved. This isn't manifestation, it's alignment. You're no longer hoping they'll choose you. You're choosing you. And in doing so, you're teaching the world how to meet you, how to treat you, right? Why are we like this? Why are we like this? It's so funny to me. Like, we'll write a whole paragraph in our notes app about how unbothered we are, but keep rereading his last text like it's a contract. Queen, let it go. That message was dry. The vibe was low. The connection was convenience, not covenant. You don't chase peace. You embody it now. You embody it now. Yeah, so let it go. Delete it, love. It no longer needs to stay in your phone. Because there's a quiet you when the war within finally ends. It's not loud. It's not boastful, but it's real. And you start noticing it in the smallest places first. You no longer defend your boundaries, babe. You no longer chase unavailable energy. You no longer explain why your peace matters. You just move different. Not because you became someone else, but because you remembered who you are. You remembered her. And she's worthy to be remembered. Right? Think about this. You're sitting in your car and your phone lights up. But for once, you don't feel the urgency to respond. You hear the notification and you choose to stay still because your peace doesn't need performance anymore. This is what it means to know yourself, to no longer feel pressure to prove that you're nice or not mad, to not explain your silence, to not apologize for your clarity. You didn't fall off. You rose up. You rose up, love. Right? Do you feel that in your body? The steadiness, the soft steadiness that comes when you finally say, this version of me is enough. She is enough. No more hypervigilance. No more trying to read energy that was never consistent. No more scanning the room for approval. This is nervous system peace, the kind that settles in you, grounds you, and lets your body breathe for the first time in years. I know you feel like you've been drowning for years, but now you can breathe. If you ever felt guilty for being unavailable to dysfunction, let's clear that right now. You're not mean, babe, for taking space. You're not selfish for not texting back. You're not unloving for needing a break. You're a woman choosing self-loyalty. And here's the truth. When you honor yourself first, the people who were only around because you overfunction would call it distance. But it's not distance. It's reclamation. You finally put the oxygen mask on yourself. And now you can breathe. Breathe, my love. A woman who knows herself doesn't fear solitude. No, she welcomes it because she understands that wholeness doesn't come from more people. It comes from more alignment. She doesn't fear being misunderstood. She fears abandoning herself just to be accepted. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of conflict. It's the presence of truth. And your truth is this: you don't need to be liked to be led by God. It's not a prerequisite, right? There's no need to prove, no need to soften your standards for comfort. You're not looking for acceptance from places that require you to perform. No, you set the tone now. You set the terms now. You are the standard now. And anything that cannot honor that doesn't belong in this chapter of your life. And you know this. And you know this, right? When you know yourself, you don't need external permission to choose internal peace. This isn't about controlling the outcome. It's about choosing alignment no matter the outcome. You no longer beg for clarity, love. You embody it. You no longer manifest worth. You walk in it. You no longer outsource your peace. You protect it like it's sacred because it is sacred. And in protecting it, you've protected the most divine thing of all, your center, the woman you are. All right? Let's take this moment, just take us pause and to softly speak this. I don't chase, I choose. And I choose me. That's it. That's the shift. That's the moment where the old cycle ends and the new one begins. When you choose yourself. God didn't create you to carry chaos. He created you to move with grace, to walk in discernment, to lead with softness and strength. And every time you return to yourself, you return to Him. He never called you to be exhausted. He called you to be equipped. And you, my love, are finally living like you believe it. All right? Sit with that for a minute. Sit with it, because here's what sacred looks like in everyday life. It's saying no without guilt. It's not answering a call just because it came in. It's taking an extra hour to yourself without explanation. It's trusting that God can handle what you can't and what you don't. Here's what chaos looks like in real life. It's when every text feels urgent, when peace feels suspicious, when rest feels like punishment. That's not normal. That's survival mode. And baby, we don't live there anymore. We don't. Right? And before we go deeper, Queen, if this message is meeting you where you are, go ahead and subscribe. You've given your time. I'm giving you my best. That's our promise to each other. And don't forget, your Queen's closing gift is waiting for you at the end of this message. So let's continue. We're going to do our breath work now because it brings us back to center, right? Let's seal this with stillness. We're going to breathe in for 4 counts. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold for 4 counts. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 6. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It just helps us to bring us back to ourselves. Take a moment to breathe each and every day, a couple times a day, Yeah, and we speak over our mind. We speak over our body because our words are powerful. We speak over ourselves to rewire the most important computer that we have, our mind, right? Tell yourself, I no longer chase. I am chosen because I have chosen me. I have chosen me. Queen, the journey back to yourself is not always loud, but it's always sacred. And when you walk in this knowing, you no longer shrink to be understood. You no longer dim to feel seen. You rise, not in noise, but in clarity. And that changes everything. That changes everything. Your Queen's closing gift is waiting for you next. Receive it as a reminder. You are not becoming, you're returning. And as always, my love, stay blessed and stay crowned.